I welcome to all of you in my present postcast. Let me introduce myself. I am D.N. Shrivastava, retired mechanical engineer from IIT, and I am a professional speaker and wellness educator. My present podcast is related to communication skill and English language, English speaking. So, this communication skill plays a very important role in our daily life. We are quite comfortable in our mother tongue if we have to communicate anything because we have learned our mother tongue since our childhood, and we do not hesitate to communicate anything in our mother tongue. But it becomes a problem for the people who hesitate to speak out the English. So communication skill in English language is very important, especially for the youth, for the people preparing for some interview or some examination or like that. So the thing is that good communication skill always enhances your career, and do not hesitate, do not feel any inferiority complex when you are speaking in English to communicate your mind, you to come to communicate your feelings or whatsoever. English is a foreign language, no doubt, but it has been given due importance in our country. It has been given due importance in our country, and we feel that the person who is good in English language can communicate very nicely. Well, there are two things: English language and communication skill. These are, of course, two different things. It is not necessary that a person who is having good English language knowledge or speaking good English can communicate also in the same way. See, it is not necessary that your communication skill is very good and your English is poor, or your English is very good, your communication is poor. Both way it is possible. So communication plays a very important role, especially for the youth people. And of course, it is a foreign language. The people in England also, English is their mother tongue. They are very good in English, but it is not necessary that they can put their signature properly. English is their mother tongue, that's why they are quite competent to speak out in English. In our country, English is not our mother tongue, but it is a British hangover that the people who know the good English are superior. So to enhance your communication skill, you have to practice a lot. Without practice, you cannot come up to the mark. So how you will practice it? Suppose if you want to communicate something, then be aware what is happening around you. Try to notice it down in your mind and speak out wherever you think it is proper place to speak out that the thing which you have seen. So always try to notice the things. Always try to listen the people who are having good English speaking power. That will enhance your communication skill also and your English also. Now there are three things very important for the communication skill. The first one is the attitude. You must have attitude to speak out English. Day to day practice. See the things around you. Listen to the people who are having good communication English, who are good English language control. and your attitude should be positive. By heart, you should think that I have to learn English, learn English, then only you can communicate properly. So, the most important part which comes in the attitude is your willingness to learn. Now, you see, when you had been a young boy, you must be trying to learn the cycling. You must have fallen down 3 4 times or more even. But after practicing your learning cycling, you will finally learn it, and then you can participate in the race also. So it depend upon the practice. If you want to learn the swimming, say, then reading the books or getting the knowledge from anybody about the swimming, you cannot be a perfect swimmer. You have to jump into the pool, and then you have to try, and then you will become a good swimmer. When you are too young, then you used to crawl, and if you try to stand up, you may fall also. Several times you will fall when you try to stand. So, but you will not leave the process. You will not compromise with the process. No, I have to stand and I have to move. So, in that way, you can get over the problem of crawling. Your parent will always try to help you. It's not like that, बेटा हमने तुमको 3 4 बार चांस दिया है, अब तुम नहीं कर पा रहे हो तो हमेशा रेंगते रहोगे. It is not like that. They will always support you. So the attitude is very important. You have the spark in your heart, in your mind, that I have to get over that. I have to communicate in a nice way in English. The other part now is knowledge. As far as the knowledge is concerned, you have to be a driver centric person. Driver centric. Suppose if a car is there, then driver knows how to drive the car. He knows how to change the gear. He handles the steering also. But he do not know the detail of the engine and all that. Mechanic knows the detail of the engine. He can dismantle the engine, again he can assemble it. But a driver only knows how to drive the car. So far as if English is concerned, try to be a driver-centric person. How to drive the car, how to speak in English, how to communicate. Not like a mechanic. Of course, grammar is very important in that area. Mechanic knows each and every part. So don't put the grammar while you are trying to speak. Grammar will automatically come to your mind when you will start speaking, communication in English. Then whatsoever you want to say in your English language, you will automatically learn some part of the grammar also. Of course, grammar plays a very important role in English language. But for communication, you have to see the happening around you. What is happening around you? What are the things which are going on around you? And you try to catch up it and then translate it in your mind and then express it into English. In that way, you can learn good English. Do not bring the nut and bolt of the grammar in your English speaking. Nut and bolt can be handled by the mechanic or the person who knows the grammar very well. So you should be driver centric. not a mechanic centric. Then you can get over the communication, get over the problem of communication skill. Now the third part, skill. You must develop the skill and try the whatever skill you are having in your brain, your mind, that has to be, that has to come out, that has to come out. Whatever skill you are having, that has to come outside of your mindset. So practicing every day, you can enhance your communication skill. If you are hesitant, if you feel yourself inferior, you can practice it before a mirror in your house. You can watch your body language also, and your speaking power. How you are speaking, you can watch yourself. See, the non-verbal communication is also very important. Non-verbal communication means that your body language and eye contact. In the interview, if you go, then you see that the communication is not in very typical English. It's in very simple language of the English. But that time your body language, your eye contact, those are the important part. And while you are communicating, do not try to impress using heavy words of English language. Do not try for that. You try to express yourself, your feeling in a simple language. Suppose you are going somewhere in a train and the journey is 10 to 12 hours or like that. You are just sitting mum. People are sitting around you, they are talking, but you are just sitting mum. No, that is not the way. Try to communicate, try to speak out. If possible in English, try to speak out. Keeping mum will not be do. Any gathering, any party, if you are present over there, then try to speak out. Maybe wrong English, don't hesitate for that. Because failure may also be there. But it doesn't mean that you will leave the things. Try to speak out. Try to practice how to speak. Try to listen. One very important area, that listen the news. Of course, Hindi news, then it is coming in English. Try to, and that news reader, they are very expert in their language. And from that listening news, you can get the general knowledge also. So many current affair things are being discussed. You try to listen to them also. And try to see how they are communicating. So what will happen if you have got the current affair knowledge also? You can join anywhere, any people who are discussing something about the current affair or some general knowledge, because you have already listened the things from the English news, so you can very easily participate in that gathering. So what I mean to say that try to communicate the things, try to observe the observe the things which are happening around you, and try to grasp from that. Suppose you get up in the morning, you start brushing your teeth, then other morning formalities you are doing, then you can speak out in your mind in English. Then you come to for the breakfast. Your siblings are also sitting, your parents are there. So many items, breakfast items are there. You can discuss over there in English. Yes, see this items have been made for us for the breakfast. You can give your reactions, your actions to your sibling, to your parents in English. Try to give it in English. Then you set out for your office. You come out of your office, come to the bus stand, and stand in a queue. There also you can observe what are the things going on. People are waiting for the bus. Bus has not yet come. So you can have in your mind, you can tell yourself also in English, and if somebody around you to whom you can express your feeling, you talk to him. You can talk to him. So in that way you can enhance your communication skill in English. Then you reach to your office. Your boss is there. He may call you. And to interact with your boss, of course, English will be much more convenient to discuss with your boss, or your boss would also like to speak you in English only. So it's not like that. Don't get frightened, don't get inferior complex, don't get fear. You have to remove all these mental blocks. Then only have positive mindset when you are going to learn the English. And the communication skill, good communication skill gives you an edge over the others. You are having good subject knowledge, but your communication is not up to the mark. Then you will fail. And the other person who is not perfect in his subject knowledge, but he can communicate very nicely, he will get selected, he will be preferred. So the communication skill plays a very important part in your career also. So a good communicator will never hesitate to express his feeling. And you can also become a good communicator by persistent practice. You make up your mind that at least 5 words, 5 sentences, not words, 5 sentences, situational sentences. You will remember it and you will try to express those in your language. It may take time. See, the person who can write from the right hand is very much expert in writing from the right hand. But suppose if he has to write it from the left hand, then he cannot write for the first attempt. He can write, but practice is required 3-4 times, 5 times, even 10 times. Then he may become the perfect. He can write from both the right hand also, left hand also. Similarly is the thing with the English communication also. So practicing is very important. Always try to practice. Do not try to give up. Do not try to give up the things. Practice it. And one day you will be one of the best communicator. And everyone would like you. You will get a superiority over the others if you can express yourself nicely in English language. So, in a nutshell, I would like to tell you that the attitude should be positive towards learning the English language, communication skill, and willingness should be there. I am willing to speak, I am willing to communicate in English. That should be the motto. Secondly, knowledge. Knowledge is very important. You try to grasp the knowledge of the English language and try to speak out wherever it is required. Thirdly, skill. Skill is very important to get over the your fear, inferiority complex, hesitation. So all these things can be overcome by practicing. So practicing will make you perfect English speaker. Thank you for listening to me. I hope it will help you to improve your English. And without English, the survival of young people is difficult to compete in the competitive world. Thank you very much.